Hello and welcome to Game 2 of Friday's continuation of the Little East Tournament with UMass Boston taking on Eastern Connecticut. The last two undefeated teams in this tournament as a ball goes foul. Leading off today, Morgan Bolduc, also the starting pitcher for the Warriors, and she's now 1-1 in the count. On the mound today, Jess Greenspan, who had a 3-hit shutout effort against Plymouth State yesterday. As Greenspan deals in for a strike, 1-2. And ball slapped right back to the mound, and Greenspan will handle herself on the throw to the first. So 1 up, 1 down so far here for the Warriors to start off this first inning. Going through the rest of the lineup today for the Warriors, Alexis Tyrell will bat second, followed up by shortstop Sarah Piscinelli. Designated hitter today, Brooke Matasovsky. And batting at the fifth position, third baseman Julia San Giovanni. Behind her, second baseman Jackie Lewis. At catcher and batting eighth, Megan Hodgson, and rounding up the lineup is left fielder Callie Duthry. Already a strike here on Tyrell, batting second this afternoon. She'll slap one up the third base line, fielded nicely there by Bellotta. Her throw to first in time, and that is the second out of the inning. Next up, Sarah Piscinelli. Had a 10-game hit streak ended yesterday in a win over Southern Maine. And she'll loft one high out to center field. As has a distance gone. Sarah Piscinelli, first pitch home run. And she has the Warriors up 1-0 here in the top of the first. Piscinelli with their 6th home run of the season. And she gives Eastern Connecticut State the early lead. So now up, Brooke Matasovsky, batting .362 this season with a .695 slugging percentage. All right, 2-0 the count here. As Matasovsky swinging a miss there on the changeup from Greenspan. So Greenspan, after pitching the shutout yesterday against the Plymouth State Panthers, already allowing a run in the first inning this afternoon. Now this one stroked down the left field line, and a nice play by Prosmak to end the inning. But some damage done there for the Warriors. 1 hit, 1 run, no one left on base. We head to the bottom of the first when we return. Welcome back here on the campus of UMass Dartmouth with Game 2 of Saturday action. Like we said, these two teams are the last two undefeated teams in this Little East Conference tournament. UMass Dartmouth dropping the first game of the day, falling to Southern Maine 4-0. So a lot of shutouts already here in this conference tournament. UMass Boston blanking Plymouth State yesterday 2-0. Eastern Connecticut blanking Southern Maine 8-0. And Southern Maine, big win for them. They stay alive in the tournament. Western Connecticut, the lone team eliminated yesterday. So with Southern Maine staying alive, what you'll see the game after this will be Plymouth State taking on Southern Maine in Game 3. Meanwhile, let's go through the lineup today for the UMass Boston Beacons. Leading off shortstop, Gigi Braga. Batting second, center fielder, Giovanna Bonilla. And batting third, catcher Roxanne Vento. A cleanup, it'll be the right fielder, Taylor Paulina. Behind her, third baseman, Ari Bellata. Left fielder, Kira Prusmak, batting sixth. Designated hitter batting seventh will be Alyssa Tully. And batting eighth, first baseman Tori DeCenzo. And rounding out the order, second baseman Kelly Donahue. On the mound today for the Warriors, it'll be Morgan Bolduc, 12-1 this season with a whip of just .778. And she was the winning pitcher yesterday over Southern Maine. 6 innings, just 1 hit allowed, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, and that shutout effort for the Warriors. 1 ball, 1 strike here and early in the count for as Braga slaps one up to third base, fielded nicely there by San Giovanni, and the throw just in time. First out of the inning. And next up will be Giovanna Bonilla. Bonilla, batting .385 this season. Went over 3 yesterday against Plymouth. And the first pitch outside for a called ball there from Bolduc. 30 runs this season to lead the Beacons, also tied for 5th in the Little East Conference. That pitch low for ball 2. So UMass Boston coming into this conference tournament with a record of 22-18, 7-9 in the Little East. And seeding doesn't really seem to matter for them over the last couple of years. The 5th seed here in 2019, they took down number 2 Plymouth State yesterday, but 5-9 record in the conference last year, 8-6 in 2017, and both years coming out the other side as Little East Conference champions, riding the pitching of Jess Greenspan 2 times. Named tournament's most outstanding player. Right now the count, 3-1, as that one goes off the bat of Bonilla and foul. And so full count here against Bonilla. Payoff pitch in for a called strike. And Bonilla punched out by the umpire. Caught looking on that one. So Bolduc, who finished up the regular season with 81 strikeouts, gets another one there. Next up, Roxanne Vento. 2017 Little East Player of the Year and a first-team player last year. That pitch low for ball 1. She's batting .398 this season, has a slugging percentage of .618, but a little bit of a slump as of late. 0 for 3 yesterday against Plymouth and just 2 for her last 20, stretching over 7 games. 1-1 the count here. As that's low and outside from Bolduc. That slaps foul down the third base line. 2-2 the count. Bento's got some pop too. 4 home runs this season. That's grounded back to the pitcher. Fielded nicely by Bolduc. Throw over the first in time, and it's 1-2-3. Up and down for Bolduc and the Warriors in the bottom of the first. So 1 inning complete. Remains 1-0 for Eastern Connecticut State. We'll be back with the top of the second. Top of the second here, UMass Dartmouth. Leading off for the Warriors. It'll be Julia Sangiovanni. Greenspan in with a called strike to start this off. Sangiovanni, 2-run homer yesterday in that win against Southern Maine. She pops up here and back to play is Vento, who gets that right before the backstop behind her. So a pop out to foul territory and out number 1 for the Warriors. Jackie Lewis up next. Second baseman will pop this first pitch foul. 0-1 early in the count. Wind up from Greenspan, just low for ball 1, 1-1. That's one slap foul by Lewis. Behind 1-2 in the count. So Greenspan allowing that home run to Sarah Pizzinelli back in the first inning. Been pitching pretty well besides that. 1-2 as this one's grounded to second base. Fielded there by Donahue. Throw over the first. And out number 2. So with 2 away, next up for the Warriors will be Sabrina Lemaire. Lemaire 302 this season, .351 on base percentage. That pitch from Greenspan low for a ball, 1-0. Lemaire 3 for 6 over her last 2 games played, and she actually had the game-winning run against UMass Boston back when they met during a doubleheader in April. Had that game-winning run in that first game. Ahead in the count right now, 2-0. That pitch just a bit up high from Greenspan, and 3-0 the count for Lemaire. Let's see if she's taken here, looking for the free base. And that's in for a called strike, taking the entire way for Lemaire. Three and one now. And that's up high for ball 4. So a 2-out base runner here for the Warriors. And now batting Megan Hodgson. Hodgson 1 for 3 yesterday against the Panthers. And with one on, first pitch, in for a strike. So Greenspan making her 25th appearance of the season as this is stroked in left field by Hodgson. Lemaire will reach second, so first and second here for Eastern Connecticut State with 2 away. So the bottom of the order now, Callie Duthry. Chance to add to the 1-0 lead for the Warriors. And the left-hander will take a called strike as Beacon's defense playing bunt there for Duthry. Duthry slaps us back to the mound. To her left, it's Greenspan. Throw over to first. And Greenspan and the Beacons able to get out of the inning with 1 hit allowed and 2 left on base. No runs, no errors. And the Beacons still trail 1-0 as they get ready to head up to bat in the bottom of the second. Welcome back for the bottom of the second inning. Leading off will be Taylor Paulina, excuse me. And first pitch strike here from Bolduc. Went 3 up, 3 down in the first inning. Paulina, who also went 1 for 3 yesterday against Plymouth, batting .305 on the season. One and one the count after that last pitch from Bolduc. And this one is skied into right field. Under it is Tyrell, and she'll make the catch. So one out here for the Warriors. As Paulina flies out to right field. Ari Bellata, the next batter here for UMass Boston. Bellata, nice season so far, .379. And a .471 slugging percentage. First pitch grounds over the shortstop. The throw from Pisanelli in time for out number 2. So far the Beacons not exactly working deep counts against Bolduc. That's Kira Prusmack with 2 down. The left-hander stands in against Bolduc. First pitch, strike, 0-1 against Prusmack. Prusmack went for the bunt, missed on that one, in for a strike anyway, so 0-2. Prusmack swings and misses. Second K of the game for Bolduc. So no hits, no runs, no one left on base. And the Warriors ahead 1-0 as we head to the top of the third. Eastern Connecticut stay with the 1-0 lead over UMass Boston, and leading off this inning, the pitcher, Morgan Bolduc. That pitch up high for a ball from Greenspan. Greenspan has allowed 2 hits, 1 run on a home run from Sarah Pisanelli back in the first inning. This one foul out to left field. So 1-1 the count. Bolduc grounding out to the pitcher at her first at bat. 1-1 against the sophomore. And that's outside for ball 2, 2-1. Bolduc taken there. That's a bit outside, 3-1. So Greenspan not very high in terms of walks or strikeouts collected over the course of the season. As that slap just foul down the third base line. 3-2, full count for Bolduc. But the way she pitches, batters just aren't able to get good contact or good bats on those balls. And she lets her defense do the work. So full count here for Bolduc as Greenspan deals. Slap towards the shortstop. Quickly to play there is Braga, and that throw to first will be out number 1. So Alexis Tyrell, who grounded out the shortstop in her first at-bat. Next up here for Eastern Connecticut State, 1 down. Went for the bunt, and that's in for a strike. Tyrell, who has hit safely in 7 over the last 8 games. Nice game yesterday against Southern Maine. 2 for 3, 2 runs, RBI, and a stolen base. Kind of did it all for the Warriors. As that goes off the glove of third baseman Bellata, and safe in at first is Tyrell. So she has hit safely now and 8 of 9. We'll see what they rule that. And they're going to award her a single. So Tyrell, the 1-out base runner for Eastern Connecticut State. Now up Sarah Piscinelli, who homered in her first at-bat. That's a bit low from Greenspan for ball 1. Tyrell will swipe some bases. 20 attempts and been able to make good on them 15 times. So working exactly at a 75% success rate there on the base paths. Long lead there for Tyrell as that pitch is in for a ball. 2-1 the count against Piscinelli. That's outside, 3-1. So again, Greenspan behind an account. And that just finds the corner as Piscinelli is ready to take her walk to first base. Full count. That's outside, and going on the play is Tyrell. But it doesn't matter because it was ball 4 anyway. So Brooke Manisovsky next up. Two outs, quick timeout here. We'll take one as well. So a conference on the mound here with Coach Natalia Ardagna with 1 down and 2 runners aboard. Beacon's trying to make sure nothing more comes of this. Next up here, Brooke Matusovsky. Matusovsky finished 3rd in the Little East with a .670 slugging percentage. Again, another pitch outside for ball 1. That's a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike against Matusovsky. This one trickles foul. 1-2 now against Matusovsky. Matusovsky, the freshman, she had a big game yesterday against Southern Maine. Many of the Warriors did in that 8-0 win, but 1 for 2, a 3-run home run, 4 RBIs total against Southern Maine. Matusovsky flew out to left field, now grounds this to third base where it's fielded by Bellotta. She'll tag out the runner, Tyrell. So that'll be out number 2. Matusovsky safe at first. Advancing to second was Piscinelli. And so still 2 runners aboard, first and second, now with 2 down for the Warriors. So Julia Sangiovanni, who popped out to the catcher in her first trip to the plate. We'll try and get a couple runners home with 2 outs and 2 on. Greenspan ahead in the count now for the first time in a bit, 0-1. That pitch is low for ball number 1. 1-1 against Sangiovanni. That one's popped over the backstop, out of play, 1-2. So Julia Sangiovanni, the freshman from East Haven, Connecticut. And that one hit Sangiovanni, and that's going to be bases loaded for Eastern Connecticut State. And Jackie Lewis, who grounded out the second in her first at-bat. Now up to the plate with 2 outs for the Warriors. Bases loaded. Greenspan's first pitch, down low for a ball. That second pitch also misses the bottom of the zone. 2-0 against Lewis. So 1-0 lead here for Eastern Connecticut State as they try and break things open against UMass Boston. That pitch right down the pike. Strike is called, 2-1 against Lewis. Lewis pops us up to right field, under it to make the play, Paulina, and so the inning is over. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 3 left on base. And so UMass Boston escapes the inning, trailing 1-0. We'll be back with the bottom of the third. Hello and welcome back here at UMass Dartmouth. We're game 2 of 4 today in the Little East Conference Tournament. UMass Boston victors yesterday, as was Eastern Connecticut State. The Warriors have a 1-0 lead on the first inning home run from Sarah Piscinelli. But good work by the Beacons and Jess Greenspan to get out of that last inning with the Warriors having bases juiced. And Greenspan able to get Paulina, make that Lewis to fly out to right field to end the inning. Starting things off here for UMass Boston in the bottom of the third will be the designated hitter, Alyssa Tully. Tully takes a called strike to start things off. Did not play yesterday in that first tournament game against Plymouth State. And then Tully will knock one towards left, and that is a nice play by Tyrell coming over to make the catch.
Now batting the first baseman, number 21, Tori DeCenzo.
Tori DeCenzo up next, first baseman. DeCenzo going 2 for 3 yesterday. As Bolduc. Pitch up high, swing and a miss from DeCenzo. She's down in the count 0-1. So it looks like assistant coach Josh Bartley going to come out and have a talk with DeCenzo. So after a conference, DeCenzo stands with a count of 0-1. Base is empty for UMass Boston. And another swing and a miss. 0-2 for Bolduc on the mound. Bolduc was dominant yesterday, and she seems to be carrying that dominance into today. That pitch up high, 1-2. That's fouled out of play there by DeCenzo to stay alive at the bat. Still, the count remains 1-2 for DeCenzo. That one fouled high out of play behind the backstop. Still 1-2. That pitch outside, so now still 1-2, excuse me, so again, DeCenzo staying alive. And that is just outside. Bolduc just missed the corner, 2-2 against DeCenzo. So good eye from DeCenzo, but that did not miss by much. DeCenzo pops this up towards the dugout and over and out of play it goes. It remains 1-2 here for DeCenzo. That's a called strike. So Bolduc with another strikeout, 1 inning so far, her third of the game. And so 2 down for the Warriors. Next up to the plate will be Kelly Dennehy, the second baseman. Hitless yesterday against Plymouth State, but still had an RBI, a stolen base, and a walk. Pitch misses the bottom of the strike zone, 1-0 for Dennehy. And that is in for a strike, 1-1. So 2 down, 1-1 count against Dennehy. And that's in for a strike, 1-2. That pitch up high, 2-2. Bolduc, second in the Little East this season with 6 strikeouts per 7 innings. And so far, she's right on pace. That is sailed down the left field line. That goes out of play, foul. So still 2-2 here for Dennehy. Bolduc, who pitched 84 innings, 108 ERA, couldn't get that third strike, and so full count for Dennehy. Dennehy slaps it up to his second base, taken there by Lewis and thrown over the first for the third out of the inning. No hits, no runs, no errors, no one left on base. It remains 1-0 for the Warriors after 3. Top of the fourth here between Eastern Connecticut State and UMass Boston. The Warriors ahead 1-0. Morgan Bolduc has been fantastic so far in this game on the mound for the Warriors. No hits, no runs, 3 strikeouts, and the Beacons have gone down in order to their previous 3 innings. Now the Warriors, who threatened last inning with bases loaded, but unable to get any runs across the plate. So, beginning this inning will be Sabrina Lemaire. She got on base in her first at-bat, courtesy of a walk. And again, Greenspan with a first pitch ball. Greenspan has issued 2 walks today. And now That pitch finds the back of Lemaire, so second hit by pitch for Greenspan as well on the no-out base runner on first, and Sabrina Lemaire. Hodgson singled in her first at-bat. As Lemaire tries to shake off things at first base. Looks like he got her right on the back of the right shoulder. Hodgson goes for a sacrifice bunt, but she foul tips it right in the mid of Vento, and that's a big break for the Beacons and Greenspan. Vento juggled a little bit behind the plate, but able to hold on to it to record the out. That's a big play. So one out here for the Warriors after the failed sacrifice bunt. Pitch in the dirt for ball one against Duthry. Duthry grounded back to the pitcher in her first trip to the plate. Pitch up high and ball two, 2-0. Duthry going 1 for 2 yesterday against Southern Maine. And that's a called strike, 2-1 for Greenspan. Duthry, one of 2 seniors in the lineup today on a pretty young squad overall for Eastern Connecticut State. Piscinelli and Hodgson, juniors as well for the Warriors, but overall, pretty young lineup. That swung on and popped foul behind Vento. She watched that go out of play. 2-2 against Duthry. Warriors have the 1-0 lead. They left 5 on base so far here this afternoon. Lemaire, the one-out base runner right now for Eastern Connecticut State. Pitch up high, 3-2, full count for Duthry. And Greenspan misses with that one, ball 4. So 2 aboard now for the Warriors, 1 down. And back to the top of the order with Morgan Bolduc. So the pitcher will try and help her own cause with 2 on base. And her team leading 1-0. Bolduc 0 for 2 here today. She went for the sacrifice bunt, and it goes right by her for a strike. As Coach Diana Pepin sending in the signals from her dugout to our right. And this time, that's stroked into center field, and rounding third is Lemaire. She'll head home, throw in from center. Stopped by Greenspan, no throw to home, and so Lemaire makes it 2-0 for the Warriors on the one-out single by Bolduc. Duthry on second, Bolduc on first, and Lemaire all the way home as the Warriors double their lead. And it looks like that's going to be it for Jess Greenspan. Greenspan, who pitched every inning of every game as UMass Boston won the Little East Conference Championship back in 2017 and 2018, the first time she's been pulled into the conference championship, and she'll finish up after 3 1/3 innings of work. So with the pitching change, we'll take a quick break and be right back here on LittleEast.com. So Haley Catania, your new pitcher here for the Beacons, replacing Greenspan, who finishes up with 3 hits allowed, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, 2 hit by pitches. And make that 3 walks, just did not have it today, so it seems. So Catania comes in 7-8 this season, 3.91 ERA. Making her 22nd appearance. Catania watches as Terrell able to bunt her way. Not on the first. Throw was in time. So out number 2, but it does advance the runners. 2nd and 3rd now.
Now batting the shortstop, number 2, Sarah Pittinelli.
So Bolduc on 2nd. Duthry makes her way to 3rd. Piscinelli is 1 for 1 today with a walk. She opened the scoring back in the first inning with that home run, her 6th of the season. And that's a hard swing and a miss. 0-2 now against Piscinelli. So Catania trying to limit the damage here, as the Warriors already have a run across the plate in the 4th. And that pitch just outside 1-2. Piscinelli with a swing and a miss, and Catania with the strikeout to wrap up the inning and keep it a 2-0 deficit. So 1 hit, 1 run, 2 left on base, no errors. And so Eastern Connecticut State leads 2-0. We'll be right back here on LittleEast.com. Gigi Braga here to lead off the bottom of the fourth for the Beacons. Braga grounding out to second or first at bat, trying to bunch herself onto first base, but a diving effort from San Giovanni to record the first out of the inning. Got a little bit under that bunt and gave enough air under that ball to allow Giovanni to come over and go diving and stab that one out of midair. Giovanna Bonilla. Next up, she struck out in her first at bat. Bonilla ahead in the count, 1-0. And that is straight down the middle for strike one. 1-1 against Bonilla. Bonilla lunging after that one. And that is a swing and a miss for strike number 2, 1-2. Pitch outside, 2-2, all even up for Bonilla. Looking to become the first base runner of this game for the Beacons. Pitch down in the dirt, now full count as Bonilla has battled her way back. Tapped up to her third base, over to her left, San Giovanni, and just in time with the throw. Miller stretching out to make the catch and beating Bonilla by a hair. So San Giovanni at third base having an active inning here for Eastern Connecticut State. Roxanne Vento trying to keep this inning alive. She grounded out the pitcher back in the first inning, and she takes first pitch for a ball. So the sun that greeted us at the start of this game as Vento skies this down foul out of play. 1-1 the count. The sun that greeted us to begin this game has gone back behind the clouds. And what we're seeing right now is what's to be expected for most of the day. Cloudy, somewhat brisk wind. And temperatures hovering in the 50s for the entirety of this Friday here in Dartmouth, Massachusetts. 1-2 the count against Vento. Fouls that off her right leg, and so it's still 1-2 for Vento. Vento will finish tied for second in the conference with 49 hits. Led the entire Little East with 34 runs batted in. And that's ball 2. Vento right now just looking for the first hit of the game for the Beacons. So Bolduc with the 2-2 pitch. And excuse me, that's ball 4. And so Vento aboard. And as we said, looking for the first base runner, and Vento is exactly that with 2 outs. Taylor Polina up to bat will try and move Vento along. She flew out to right field in her first at-bat. And the first pitch swinging. Fielded there at second and thrown over to the shortstop, Piscinelli, for the final out of the inning. Nice play by Lewis. And so no hits, no runs, no errors, one left on base. We head to the top of the fifth with the Warriors up 2-0. So, top of the fifth here, the Warriors leading the Beacons 2-0. Haley Catania, who came in relief last inning, will stay out there for UMass Boston. And Brooke Mahovsky to lead off the inning for the Warriors. Mahovsky today 0 for 2 with a fly out to left field and reaching first on a fielder's choice. Swings on the first pitch, pops it up behind Vento, trying to get free from the umpire. And so the umpire playing some unintentional defense there on Vento as that drops down for a strike, foul ball. Oh, 0-2 the count here against Mahovsky. And now grounded here, the shortstop taken by Braga. Throw over to DeCenzo for out number 1.
Now batting the third baseman, number 34, Julia Sangiovanni.
Julia Sangiovanni up next. She's popped up to the catcher and reached first on a hit by pitch in the last inning. Catania in there for strike 1 to start off this at bat. And this is just foul by Sangiovanni. So 0-2 against Sangiovanni. Lines this up to right field, over the header, Prosmak. And Sangiovanni rounding first, throw in from left, and up at second standing is Sangiovanni with a 1-out double. So Prosmak taking a step in, and that was all that was needed for that line drive to left field over the header, Prosmak. Sangiovanni will be replaced here by pinch runner Lauren Zank.
Pinch running for the Warriors is number 7, Lauren Zank. Now batting the second baseman, number 11, Jackie Lewis.
Jackie Lewis next up. She's over 2 today. So 1 out. Runner on second for Eastern Connecticut State. That's fouled for a strike. So Catania, who came in, and great job as Lewis Floats at the shortstop, and right there running in to make the play was Braga. So that's the second out of the inning. And Sabrina Lemaire. Now to the plate, she is technically 0 for 0. And she swings and misses on the first pitch. Walk and reached first last inning, being hit by a pitch. Lemaire 0-1, and that just finds the corner. 0-2 now against Lemaire. So Catania came in last inning, nicely able to nullify what could have been a big inning for Eastern Connecticut State. But now, trying to get out of this one with 2 outs. And San Giovanni behind her. And now a rope into left field as Zank comes around to score. 3-0 here for Eastern Connecticut State on the 2-out single by Lemaire. So Lemaire with the RBI. Zank gets home. And Megan Hodgson trying to keep the rally going, or keep the runs going here for the Warriors. That ball up high, 4-1. Second pitch strike, 1-1 here against Hodgson. So the second time in this game that the Warriors have been able to pick up some runs with 2 outs. As this one gets by the diving Bellata. First and second now as Hodgson with the single. And 2 base runners suddenly for the Warriors, still with 2 outs. And we'll see if Coach Ardania bringing someone in here. So Kat Duvall, the pinch hitter here for Cali Duthry. 2 down. Catania on the mound. Pitch low for a ball. Duvall on the season, batting .238. Her last game played came against Plymouth State back on April 27th, and she hits this hard foul right into the first base coach for Eastern Connecticut State. I'm going to say that's Mark Correa. So it looks like he is okay, and he gets a couple of chuckles from the dugout. And that is down low for a ball. 2-1 now against Evolve. It is Lemaire on second. Hodgson on first as the pitch from Catania outside for ball 3. Mark Correa there, seeming pretty fleet of foot. But that came in pretty hot. This ball popped up to second base, running in to make the play is Donahue, and that will end the inning. But not before the Warriors are able to tack another one on. 3 hits, 1 run, no errors, 2 left on base. And Eastern Connecticut State ahead of UMass Boston 3-0. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Eastern Connecticut State leading UMass Boston 3-0. Megan Bolduc through 4 innings so far, allowing just 1 walk, no hits. And has struck out 3 here this afternoon so far. So leading off the inning here, Ari Bellata, the third baseman for the Beacons. Bolduc, a fastball that's high for ball 1. This one is sky high to center field, and a diving catch by Lemaire going running into the center field wall. So Lemaire having a beat on that right from the get-go, stretching out to make the catch. And out number 1. Lemaire losing her headband on that catch. Running into the fence in the process. And so 1 down here as an excited Alexis Tyrell coming over to celebrate that one. So next up, Kiera Postmak with 1 down. A dramatic out for Eastern Connecticut State. That pitch up high for ball 1. That's fouled off. 1-1 the count against Prosmak. Prosmak slaps that foul over the dugout. 1-2. Another pitch up high now, 2-2. So Sabrina Lemaire, nice inning so far. Made that defensive play, and also the single that scored Julia San Giovanni. Well, pinch runner Laura Zank in that last inning, making it 3-0 for the Warriors. Full count now against Prosmack. 1 out for the Beacons, as the outfielders pretty shallow in here. Slapped up to third base, quickly collected by San Giovanni, and a quicker throw over the first for out number 2. Two up, 2 down so far for the Beacons. Alyssa Tully, the designated player today. Tully so far, 0 for 1, lined out to right field in her first at-bat. Pitch in there for a called strike. And now this is popped up to right field, and running over to make the catch was Tyrell. So Lemaire and Tyrell active there in the outfield. And another 3 up, 3 down inning for Bolduc to bring us through 5 innings here at UMass Dartmouth. We will step aside when we return the top of the 6th on LittleEast.com. So Morgan Bolduc up to begin this inning, and swings on the first pitch, pops it up into foul territory, and the catch is made by DeCenso for a quick out number 1.
Now batting the right fielder, number 4, Alexis Terrell.
Alexis Tyrell, 1 for 2 today. Make that 1 for 3, singled back in the 3rd inning. One and 1 the count here against Tyrell. Terrell swings, foul tip, 1-2. Catania back on the mound. And Terrell went down low. That goes up over the fence, out of play, and so remains 1-2. Terrell down the third base line. Picked up behind Bellata, but no time to make the throw. And they're going to call that foul ball anyway. So Bellata dusting herself off. As the count stays at 1-2. Terrell back down the third base line. This time she gets it by Bellotta into left field. That will roll, and Terrell aboard. So with one out, Terrell on first base, and next up, Sarah Piscinelli. 1 for 2 today with a home run and a strikeout, 1 walk as well. Piscinelli fouls that one off behind her, 0-1. Piscinelli watches that ball go inside, 1-1. And that is also low. 1-2 the count here against Piscinelli. That's Catania. Able to get Piscinelli down on strikes as she finds a corner there with that last pitch. First strikeout of the game for Catania. And that is 2 down here for the Beacons, with Brooke Matasovsky up to the plate. Matasovsky looking for her first hit of the afternoon. As Matasovsky pops this up towards the third base side, and stepping in to make the play is Braga for the final out of the inning. So 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 left on board. And we head to the bottom of the 6th with the Warriors leading 3-0. Welcome back here on the campus of UMass Dartmouth for this Little East Conference Championship. Whoever comes out the victor in this contest will remain the lone undefeated team in the conference championship. UMass Dartmouth, the top seed, falling earlier today 4-0 to Southern Maine. And UMass Dartmouth will try and stay alive in the 4 o'clock game against the loser of this contest. Meanwhile, next up, Plymouth State will take on Southern Maine. And the winner of that contest will stay alive for another day as well. It all wraps up tomorrow, weather permitting, of course. As we head now to the bottom of the 6th, then leading off will be Tori DeCenso. Check that. Pinch hitting now, Drew Washington. So Washington trying to get something here for the Beacons, who have had just 1 base runner so far in this game. That came on a walk to Roxanne Vento back in the 4th inning. Washington 5 for 19 this season. And she was 0 for 1 pinch hitting yesterday against Plymouth State. She takes a first pitch ball. And that pitch outside as well, 2-0 against Washington. Washington slaps it up towards second base. That will go up the middle in the center field. So Washington gets the first hit of the day for the Beacons, and she's on board with no outs. Lewis ranging over to her right. Couldn't get there in time as that skips in the center field. So a quick conference here at the mound with Bolduc. Kelly Danahy. She is 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to second in her first at-bat. Kelly Danahy was a first-team conference selection last year at second base, just the third freshman all-time to be selected a first-teamer in the Little East Conference. And trying to get a rally going here for the Beacons in the bottom of the sixth inning. Tried to go bunt, but a wild pitch that goes off the tip of the catcher's glove, Hodgson. But Washington, the Skintons, goes scampering back on the overrun. And a mistake there by Hodgson. As Diana Pepin calling for batter interference, I think. Umpire appealing to his rest of his crew and says, nope, all stands as it is. So in Washington now on second after the passed ball. Danny 1-1 sacrifice bunt taken by Bolduc over the first, and Washington will gain access to third base. So Washington with the single to second on the pass ball, and then the third on the sacrifice bunt. And we go to the top of the order with Gigi Braga, looking to get UMass Boston on the board. Braga, who was robbed by San Giovanni back in the fourth inning. A diving catch on a sneaky bunt from Braga. And now we see Coach Natalia Ardagna having a conference with her players and coaching staff, realizing the significance of this moment. Beacons have Bolduc and the Warriors in trouble for the first time today. As Braga stands in here. Left-hander from Medford, Massachusetts, slaps up the third base line. Quickly taken by San Giovanni, and the hard throw over the first in time holds Washington on third base to record the second out. Giovanna Bonilla. With Washington just a short distance away from being the first run of the game for the Beacons. Bolduc trying to get out of this inning. First pitch. In for a strike. San Giovanni has just been very impressive in this game so far, making just about every play needed and possible at third base. That pitch is low for ball one. 1-1. The count for Bonilla. And that's right down the middle for strike number 2. 1-2 for Bolduc. As the outfielders here playing Bonilla very much to hit to the opposite field. Duthry, couple feet from the left field foul line. Pitch up high, dropped there by Hodgson, but no matter. She quickly recollects, and Lemaire in center field, shading to our right. Two and two the count here against Bonilla. Bolduc with the pitch. Down in the dirt off of Hodgson. Washington thought about it. Instead, we'll retreat back to third base. So full count. And Hodgson coming out to have a quick chat with her pitcher. And a couple of playful shoves there between the pitcher and catcher. Full count here for Bonilla. Washington on third. Warriors leading 3-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Then here we go with the full count pitch. Bolduc has it. Foul tipped off. It looked like Bonilla was actually trying to get that bat away. This appearing to head in for ball 4, but instead the at-bat carries on. And another foul ball out of play. So Bonilla making Bolduc work here on this at-bat. Seen about 7 pitches so far. Bolduc with the payoff pitch. Slapped foul once again. And so we continue here in the battle between Bonilla and Bolduc. Bolduc has that tap back to the catcher, but again a foul ball as it landed behind the plate. So, pitch number 10 in this at-bat upcoming. Bonilla not really looking to swing away, just trying to get that in the field of play and see if her speed can get her to first base and, more importantly, get Washington home. And that is a called strike. Bolduc strikes her out to get out of the inning. Big pitch there by Bolduc to keep the Beacons off the board. We head to the top of the 7th. Warriors ahead 3-0. So Julia Sangiovanni leads off the top of the 7th here for the Warriors. Eastern Connecticut State leading UMass Boston 3-0. As Giovanni sends this to center field, back to play is Bonilla. And she makes a running catch for out number 1. Got that right at the warning track. A very long out for San Giovanni and a nice catch by Bonilla. So Jackie Lewis up next. Lewis swings on the first pitch, grounds back to the pitcher, and Catania throws it to the Sensil for the quick out number 2. Lemaire now up to the plate for the Warriors. Has a single, a walk, hit by a pitch, and a run as well. She takes a called strike 1. Catania so far today, 3 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run allowed, 2 strikeouts. As this one's popped towards the UMass Boston dugout, that'll bounce off of the roof out of play. And 0-2 against Lemaire. That's rolled in for ball 1. 1-2 now against Lemaire. So Lemaire, the Braintree, Massachusetts native, playing her collegiate softball at Eastern Connecticut State. Junior center fielders had a good game both offensively and defensively this afternoon as Catania rolls another one in there. And the count all even, 2-2. Two outs here for the Warriors. No one aboard. Eastern Connecticut State still ahead 3-0 though. And the 2-2 pitch up high for ball 3. Full count. Catania. That pitch high for ball 4, and so a 2-out base runner as Lemaire earns her second walk of the game. First walk given up by Catania. And Megan Hodgson now up to the plate. She is 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. And that is in for strike number 1. Swung and driven to center field. Back a few steps is Bonilla. She'll make the catch, and that will close out the inning. So do or die now for the Beacons. They trail 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Welcome back here for game number 2 on the day, game number 6 officially, between Eastern Connecticut State and UMass Boston. And Warriors take a 3-0 lead into the bottom of the 7th inning. Bolduc back on the mound, trying to finish things up for her team. So far today, Bolduc, 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. And the Warriors have had just 2 base runners today, one by a walk, one by a pinch hit single from Drew Washington last inning. Roxanne Vento, 0 for 1 today with a walk. She'll lead things off for the Beacons. Bolduc with a fastball for strike number 1. So if ever there was someone on the Beacons roster to get the rally going, you have to figure it's Roxanne Vento. But as we said, despite the strong season so far here in 2019, cold as of late, now 2 for her last 21. Pitch down the dirt for ball 2, 2-1 against Vento. Bolduc with a windup, and that catches the corner for strike 2. 2-2 now for Vento. Swung on, knocked foul down the first base line, and so Vento will stay alive. Count even 2-2. Bolduc able to get Vento looking. Another strikeout for Bolduc, her 5th of the game. And she records the first out of the inning on Vento. A key out here. Taylor Paulina up next. She is 0 for 2 today. And Paulina swings on the first pitch. Pops up to right field and in to make the play is Duthry for out number 2. So Ari Bellata trying to keep the inning alive as the Beacons down to the last out. Bolduc looking to close things out here against UMass Boston. First pitch looked in for a strike. And Bellata behind in the count, 0-1. That pitch up high, 1-1 the count. So if Eastern Connecticut State comes away with the win, they'll next take the field tomorrow. Meanwhile, UMass Boston will get ready to face UMass Dartmouth in the final game of the day at 4 o'clock. Pitch up high from Bolduc, 2-1 now the count on Bellata. That pitch just low, 3-1 now. Bellata trying to be a 2-out base runner here for the Beacons. And Bellata will step out of the box, take a moment to think about things. Bellata slaps it up to second base. Lewis up to make the play and to throw the first in time. And Eastern Connecticut State Downs UMass Boston 3-0 to remain undefeated in conference play. And so the last team in the conference tournament without a loss. And they'll get ready for tomorrow's action as they will take on the winner of the next game between Plymouth State and Southern Maine. So first pitch will come shortly after 2 o'clock. We'll have all the action right here on Corsairathletics.com or LittleEast.com. We'll be back. Next up, the Plymouth State Panthers versus the Southern Maine Huskies when we return. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm Mike O'Brien, Eastern Connecticut State, the victor today over UMass Boston, 3-0 as Morgan Bolduc goes with the one-hit shutout victory on the mound. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back in a moment.